the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads. Got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo and them ghosts. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah. So let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva. Them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmetto Valley. We from the fofo chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating no dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And kinda got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back here. It is already week 10, believe it or not, of this 2025 season. My name is Sam Torres, and this is the 440 Sports Show. We are live on location here at the beautiful Crow's Nest here in Ashtabula. A huge thank you to the Detour family. A huge thank you to the Sposito family for sponsoring us and hosting us each and every week as we talk about Ashtabula County's best football on your home for high school sports right here, ysnlive.com. And, just like the song says, in Grand Valley, they work like a horse. They show no remorse. And that's exactly what we had going on this week when the Mustangs had to battle a Trumbull County team trying to lay claim to that name. And the real Mustangs reside right here in Ashtabula County in Orwell, baby. Grand Valley goes out there with a huge win, and in very, very large part thanks to this man. You know, you talk about Cue My Music. They got to get Jaws, the Jaws theme song, getting ready to go. Every time this guy touches the ball, that dun because every time he touches the ball, something big happens. And on Friday night, 14 carries, 142 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And just like I always do every week, I forgot a highlight on here. How about I call it the Jaws fumble recovery, because I've only seen one guy do it, and he's done it 3 times. That's this week's Player of the Week for Week 9. It's Jay Anthony Williams. Come on to the show, Jay.
What's up? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, we talk about this game out there, 14 carries, 142 yards. It's a Madden-like game for you. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And I'm telling you, man, you got to go out there and trademark that strip fumble, because I've only seen it live in person 3 times. You've been responsible for all 3 of them, the Jaws-type fumble. But, I think it's really easy for everybody to focus on your abilities on the offensive side of the ball. You're a great athlete, Barry Sanders-type runner. But the defensive side of the ball, you seem to make a huge difference out there.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I low-key kind of enjoy defense more than offense, believe it or not. It's always been like that. I always like hitting somebody. And, when I get an interception, I normally try to take it to the crib. So
yeah, I mean, we see it. we see it. No. When that ball is thrown in the air and you're on defense, do you take that personal? What are you doing throwing the ball if I'm out here?
Nah, I'm just, you feel me? I'm trying to score, give me a pick.
So, we'll talk a little bit about the strip fumble. Like I said, the Jaws fumble recovery. Where did you learn that? I know we've talked about it in the past, but every time you do it, it blows my mind. I mean, you literally pull the ball out of their hand and then take it to the house.
It's kind of something I just did. I didn't even see nobody do it. I did it in a Buckeye game. I think we were traveling to go to state for it, and we were down in Canton, and I took it out of some kids' hands. But yeah, ever since that, I've been trying to take the ball out of people's hands ever since that. So
Well, listen,
it's just always something I'm trying to do.
you might be a little bit too young, and this makes me feel old to tell you, but there's another Buckeye who did that, and he's my all-time favorite in Maurice Claret. So, but that was on TV, not live and in color like I got to watch, like I got to watch you out there. But so you go out there against a Matthews team that I think is sneakily better than people realize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've had some up games, they've had some down games, but there's some talent out there. The beginning of the game was a little bit shaky. What did you do to kind of keep your head in the game and realize that you guys are going to take this?
I just didn't let nothing get to me. Like, I knew if I just stuck to what Coach Rosati was like telling us, we would eventually come up on top. But it was like we didn't play like as bad as it looked like on the stats. It was just we had a lot of mess ups like fumbles and like the bad snaps and stuff. So it was like, you know, we had to fight back to kind of claw back. Like they had it was 14-0 like out of nowhere from them barely being on offense.
Yeah.
Just our mistakes. It was 14-0.
Well, you know, there was one particular play where you were able to avoid a mistake. And we're going to watch it together. All right. And this is a shout out to Life Speaks Photography for catching this moment. It was an incredible moment. He does just a phenomenal job. I love his photography, everything he's doing. Let's take a look at this. Just another in the long line of J. Anthony William highlights. We'll have to start it over. You know, it's live TV. I never get it right the first time.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's crazy work. I mean, an over-the-head snap, a stiff arm, a juke move.
Yeah, and I had to like one hand catch the ball. Like it bounced like perfectly into my hand though. Like it was right there, and I just, you know, it was like a one hand snag, like right off the ground.
So you guys got a Mustang bounce on the road, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
That's absolutely incredible. But again, you know, two interceptions to add on to that, and you know, a lot of talented guys around you. And you come in this year as a senior for this Grand Valley team, and you know, what was going through your mind coming into this year? And you're the top dog, the leader, that sort of thing, part of that class where, you know, there's a lot of talented younger guys who are looking, obviously, to you.
Just pave the path. Like, we was here to, like, change the Grand Valley culture, and I feel like we could have been the first age group to do that. And so I feel like we're paving the path for, like, the future the freshmen we got right now that's playing up. I feel like we're putting them in great positions to be good in the future because they're playing right now up with us. So
yeah, I mean, you guys have a lot of talented younger guys that are stepping out or, you know, kind of sticking out. Anybody that sticks out in particular to you? I mean, obviously that running back field.
Yeah, Mason Demshar. I mean, my little brother, but you know he broke his hand. Luca's good. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
So listen, it's funny you say that. It took me 7 weeks before I finally got it, and I'm probably still wrong, but I call him Luca Raymore because that's what they told me to call him.
It might. I think it is. I think it is Raymore.
So if you wanna laugh, look at the first couple weeks as I'm trying to navigate myself through that. But I'll tell you what, it's been, you know, ups and downs, but you guys have an absolutely huge game. The Battle of the Valley has never been so important as it is this week. You guys are going up against the Pymatoonie Valley Lakers, who, I mean, let's not make any mistakes about it. It's a bitter rivalry.
Yeah.
You know, so what are some of the things you're focusing on yourself personally?
Well, me personally, just trying to, I don't know, like, keep, like, because normally I be sick on the sideline sometimes because, I don't know, my stomach been, like, messed up. So just eating right and drinking, like, the right stuff throughout the week because I feel like if I don't, my body's like a machine, obviously. If you don't drink or eat right, you're going to be messed up on game day. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't drive a Ferrari if you're putting, you know, old 85 in the tank.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta put in the premium to make that work. But you guys had a really cool moment before this Matthews game with a guest speaker, I guess a guest hype man
Oh, yeah.
coming in. One of the biggest human beings I've ever seen in my life, Dougie
Huge.
Flex, I
Dougie
believe
Flex,
they call
yep.
him. What was that like? Getting ready for this game.
He had great energy, and he got us really hyped for the game. And it was like we had already met him before, because like he had helped us work out, and it was like we was already familiar with him, but he got us really hyped for the game, and it was like it was a great experience.
And you talk about workouts, and that's something that you've really taken in very seriously over the last year or so, spending time in the gym, getting these extra workouts.
Yeah.
And how much do you think that's helped you, and what changed that you're like, you know what, I'm going to take my butt and pump some iron?
I think it's helped me a lot. Like I wasn't stiff arming no people last year. I ain't gonna lie. This is really my first year actually working out, and part of that might be on me, but it's good that I'm working out now and I'm getting like prepared for like college and stuff.
Well, I mean, and in large part, I don't mean I don't want to speak it into existence, though. You've stayed healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of the ways I think that gets overlooked a lot by young athletes is a lot of times injuries come from just not having that, the strength to kind of back it. You know what I mean? You can be as great as you want to be, as fast as you want to be, but football is a game of mass.
Yeah, exactly.
So, when the guys are out there and what's it like, the culture that you're getting in that gym? Because, there's all kinds of social media, and it's really great to see what you guys are doing. But every time you guys head into a gym, it seems like it's business.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. It's like a brotherhood in there. Like everybody is connected in that weight room, the gym, everything. So it's really like a family.
So how competitive does it get in the gym behind closed doors? You don't got to give me any state secrets, but how competitive is it in there when you guys are pushing out?
Just know the weight room gets it gets aggressive in there. It gets aggressive. For sure.
So, obviously it's been a up and down season, I get, not just for you, but for teams all around the county, you know what I mean? But as we're heading into week 10 and, playoffs still not completely off, you know what I mean? There's a little bit there. What's something you're looking to, you want to make sure you get done this week, not preparing wise, but what's something you want to leave your stamp on the game?
Well, I want to win. That would be the stamp I would want to leave, but if not, then at least make it a good game and a close game. Like, know that we gave it our all.
All right, Jay Anthony, I'm going to ask you a question. It's gonna be kind of a scenario, all right? So you're on the 10-yard line. The game is tied. You can be on offense. You can be on defense. Now, you've intercepted a lot.
Yeah.
Do you want to run that ball in, or do you want to take the ball away and house it?
That's a hard question.
Which one gets that J. Anthony Williams jaws smile a little bit wider?
Probably the pick. I'm not gonna lie. Probably the pick it and taking it to the crib. Yeah, that would be a 90-yard pick six.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. I mean, it's not off the table with you, my friend.
Yeah.
It's not off the table. So, you play other sports, obviously. You've played some basketball in the past. You run track.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you've actually pulled from those other sports, whether it be basketball or track, to kind of help you be, an elite guy on the football field?
Track, it's helped me with, like, my speed and explosiveness. Like, my 20-yard shuttle probably wouldn't be as fast as it is without, like, track. Because, like, track, it just helps you with explosiveness. And basketball, I mean, I ain't really a hooper, but I guess it could help you with, like, shiftiness, too, in a way.
All right, who's winning in a game of one-on-one between you and Dad right now?
I'm frying him.
He'll watch that later.
I'm frying.
I'll tell you what, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to watch, this year and years past, one of my favorite guys to watch because every time you touch the ball, it seems to be something absolutely, I almost lose my voice every time I got J. Anthony Williams on the field.
Appreciate it.
But, we'll bring it up again, 14 carries, 142 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a fumble recovery by force by this man. That is going to be our Week 9 Player of the Week. His name is J. Anthony Williams, but we call him Jaws around here. Let's hear it. Yeah.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com or find us on Facebook.
Your culinary adventure awaits at Legends Food and Drink. Experience a welcoming ambiance while you explore our appetizing menu featuring over 20 meals under $20 and over 30 lunches for $12 or less. Our private dining room seat between 10 and 20 at no additional cost. And don't forget our spacious 35-seat bar for your favorite sporting event. Book your special occasion in our elegant banquet room that seats up to 150 comfortably. Legends Food and Drink, a taste you'll remember. Market Street and Route 224 in Boardman.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We just got done with that interview of our Week 9 Player of the Week, J. Anthony Williams. I mean, just an incredible game by an incredible athlete on Friday night. He goes out there, and, this is a Grand Valley team, ups and downs, have been able to bounce back over the last 2 weeks, and, there's no looking backwards. Everything is forward. And, they even had a rough start to that game, but they were unshaken. When that team gets going, they are something special, and they showed that on Friday night. And we'll talk about that game and a whole lot more as we go through the Week 9 scores. And we will start off on what is arguably one of the most exciting football games I have ever had the honor and the privilege of covering. The Lakeside Conneaut game, which ends 49-50. This game had absolutely everything you could want to see. It was back and forth from right from the very, very beginning. 14-14 in the second quarter, 21-21 into halftime, and they come out there. I think the star, honestly, the Conneaut Spartans have a new legend amongst their midst, and that is Colby Stiltner. Colby Stiltner, who played one of the most incredible games I've seen so far this year, goes out there. He is throwing the ball all over the yard. Alden Googe had a coming out party in this game. I mean, seemingly open every time he was on the field. And, it's one thing to be open. It's also another thing to be able to make the catch, and he was able to do it every time that Lakeside's defense, which played well in this game, played better than they've played through most of the season in this one. Every time they would back Conneaut up, it would be 3rd and 17, 3rd and 14. Here comes Alden Googe, down the field. Colby Stiltner with all kinds of pressure. Tyree Anderson and Chris McKeechin getting into the backfield all over him. He's maintaining his composure, extending the play just enough time to get a good throw to Alden Gooch, who would make it happen. You can't overlook the Devontae Harris, who had an incredible game. But when it came down to the brass tacks, when it came down to winning this game, Alden Gooch scores. They're down by 1. Coach Rocco Dobrin, who is one of the most tenured veteran coaches we have in this area, showed the intestinal fortitude that people only dream of. Going for 2 on the road, under a minute left. And he put the ball in the hands of the guy he trusted the most, and that was Colby Stiltner, who fights through 3 defenders to break the plane in the end zone, making the 2-point conversion, giving Conneaut the lead late in the game and solidifying it. Over on the Lakeside side of things, Lakeside had some guys who flat out made plays. J.J. Murphy did what J.J. Murphy does, and that's throw the ball very, very well. This kid comes into this week less than 200 yards away from the all-time single-season passing record. This is a sophomore in high school who is knocking on that door already. Jorge Diaz with one of the biggest moments of the night in this game. If Stiltner doesn't get that 2-point conversion, Jorge Diaz and his 96-yard interception return for a touchdown to put Lakeside ahead with just over a minute and a half left in the game would have gone down as one of the most legendary defensive plays you've ever seen in your life. This was the unfortunate part of this game is, unfortunately, somebody has to lose. But overall, one of the greatest games I've ever had the honor, the privilege to call. And I'll tell you what, if you want to go back and watch it, it is available on YSN Live you can either look under Lakeside or Conneaut under the school tabs, and it's going to be right there. It is legitimately a classic. It was an instant classic. And I had a wonderful time calling it. And, there was great turnout from both sides. And I just thought everything about that game was what high school football should be. So Lakeside falls to 1-8. Conneaut moves to 4-5. And both of these teams have monster matchups coming up this week. The Pymatuning Valley Lakers move up to 6-3 with a 55-0 win over the Cardinal Huskies. Cardinal has struggled this year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I do want to give them credit where credit is due. This is a team that very easily could have called it quits. Low numbers, 13, 14 guys on the team. We've seen teams call it a season with more players than that, but they wanted to finish this out, and I tip my hat to them because I think they're gaining more than they're losing by going out there and playing football games. Because the fact of the matter is there's no better way to prepare for a football game than to play a football game. So while this year things might not be in the cards for them, things are going to be moving up in the future. As for the Pymatuning Valley Lakers, after a rough start to the season, they have gotten it going and never looked back. This is the Laker football that I'm used to. This is the Laker football that everybody else would expect. The only difference is this one's got a twist. Justin Britton throws for 6 touchdowns in this game, which is a school record. Pymatuning Valley has found a passing game that has been incredible. And when we go through stat leaders coming up soon, you're going to see Justin Britton really, really close to the top. And while he might not have the yards, I will tell you this about Britton. He is the most efficient quarterback we have in the county. The Grand Valley Mustangs, as we were talking about it, 42-20 over Matthews. Again, the battle for the name Mustangs, and the Mustangs name stays in Ashtabula County. There's one set of Mustangs, and that is those Grand Valley boys from Orwell. They go out there, and Matthews, got a nice head start in this one, 14-0, capitalizing on some early mistakes. Now, there's 2 ways to go about it when you've made mistakes early in a game. You can fold up and decide you're not going to win this, or you can go out there and you can fight harder. And that's exactly what Grand Valley decided to do. They're going to fight harder. They come back to win this game and move their record from up to 5-4, as Matthews is going to fall to 3-6. The Jefferson Falcons, it was the battle of the Hoadley Cup. Last year, Jefferson was able to take that trophy away from Edgewood, and it's one of those trophy games, those rivalry games. You get a whole year to kind of deal with the consequences of it. And Edgewood has taken it seriously, moving up to 5-4 in this one. 49-7 is the final total in this one. J.J. Dufour with 5 touchdowns in this game in the air. It's easy to look at this game and think that it was all J.J. Dufour, but I think you would be selling yourself short if you don't talk about Javen Pope, who rushed for almost 200 yards in this game. It was an incredible outing for the Edgewood Warriors. Jefferson has been looking to find the key to the sauce. They started off really, really well this year. Red hot were the Falcons in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season. Some things have kind of gone left to right, and they're trying to get back. And I'll tell you what, they're going to have a huge, huge test coming up this week. And then those Geneva boys, they played Madison, the Blue Streaks, and this game right here effectively was going to be for the CVC Lake Championship. Now, they still have to win another game to make it so it's just theirs, but this is the game that everybody was talking about last week. This was probably the biggest game in the county last week. And the Geneva boys go to Lake County, they go to Madison, and lay the hammer down. The Eagles are like the Cane of Ashtabula County, the big red machine. When they run the ball, call it a night, baby. Bryce Pete is one of the nastiest running backs you're ever going to get your eyes on, and this kid is now the all-time leading rusher, career yards-wise, for the Geneva Eagles. And what's more impressive than him owning that career rushing is the fact that he averages about 11.5 yards per carry in his career average. It's unheard of. It is absolutely unheard of. And you can't overlook Caden Proy, who's come out as the quarterback of that wing T offense and been effective each and every week for this Geneva team. Geneva is prepped and ready for a playoff run this year. And their first-round opponent may very well be a rematch of this game right here. According to Drew Pasteur, Madison has the highest percentage to play Geneva in Week 11. Do you want to see this game again? I know I do. I can't get enough of these rivalry games. And then the St. John Heralds, they're going to fall to an 8-0 Fairport Harding Skippers, 21-12. And, Fairport is a good football team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you go on to Max Preps right now, you're going to see Lawson and you're going to see Castellano, who are top 20 in their respective categories, whether it's receiving yards or passing yards. This is a tough team. But St. John went out there, they slowed that tempo right down. A couple mistakes here and there is honestly what changed the outcome of this game. This was very, very competitive from top to bottom, from the first quarter to the final zeros in the fourth quarter. And now St. John goes, they have a big game this week as they are looking for their first playoff appearance since 2018. Now, we talked about Week 9. Let's talk about the big games here in Week 10. I'm very, very excited about the fact that each and every one of these games that we are talking about is going to be live on YSN here on Friday. And we will start off with a huge one. Edgewood Warriors, Lakeside Dragons. It's the battle for the bridge. You've got Lakeside holding a big bonfire, talking about chop the wood. You've got Edgewood saying that they're going to spear the Dragons. I mean, this is an Edgewood team that they are also preparing for a huge playoff run. J.J. Dufour has been lights out. Josiah Pope has been incredible all year long. They've got some guys who have made a name for themselves this year, like Devin Sanchez. You've got the Slim Reaper and Riley Baldwin, who's taken the ball out of the air each and every week. Lakeside has got Ashtabula's most prolific passing quarterback in J.J. Murphy. Oh, and by the way, the kid's just a sophomore. This is one of those rivalry games where you better get ready. Have your hats tight on your head because it's going to blow your socks off too. This should be a great game. They're going to be playing at Edgewood on Friday night at 7 o'clock. From one huge rivalry game, we move to another huge rivalry game. Now, this is a game that over the past couple years has been very one-sided. I do not believe that will be the case this year. The battle for the Valley, Pymatuning Valley and Grand Valley. Get ready for this one. It's going to be grit, determination, and flat out who wants it more. That's going to decide this game this week. It is talent versus talent. It is a backfield that can run all over the place with young guys against a passing attack that they have just now developed this year. It's two schools that don't like each other very much, and they're going to make it very well known. But it is going to be at what it really comes down to, it's going to be an incredible football game. Weather could play a huge portion in this one, as they are playing in Pymatuning Valley, and the forecast as it stands right now, and if you want to keep up, go to Storm Tracker 21, and they'll keep you up to date on what the weather patterns are going to be. This could be a rainy, muddy, messy, old school 1990s football style game, and that's what everybody wants to see. You know what I mean? You're going to have Jay Anthony, Luca Raymore, Mason Dempshire taking on Croston and Britton and Folkman and the whole crew. You don't want to miss this one. It is going to be one for the ages. The battle for the Valley is going to be so entertaining this week. I can't wait to watch it. I won't be covering it, but I can tell you it's going to be on my phone right next to me as I'll be paying attention calling these football games. And if you are watching one game and want to keep scores on the other, or you're at a game and want to see what the scores are on the other ones, you can always go to ysnlive.com/scores and check out all the up-to-date scores for all of Ashtabula County teams. The Geneva Eagles at 7-2 take on the 2-7 Jefferson Falcons this week. If Geneva can get this win over Jefferson, they become the sole champion of the CVC Lake Division. This is a tall task for Jefferson. You know, I'm not doubting anything that they can get done. I think Matthew Webster is an incredibly strong running back. Mason Khalil has played out of his mind this year. He's a very, very talented quarterback. Devin Salinas, one of the area's best wide receivers. But this is a game that means so much to Geneva. I think they've got the upper hand. Bryce Pete has been unstoppable. I mean, that's just the big and small of it. This kid, it's been building up for years and years, and he has really delivered each and every week for this Eagles team. And if Geneva wins this game, they get the outright title here on this CVC Lake, and it's something that I know that they want. And then the St. John Heralds at 4-5 taking on the Cardinal Huskies, who are 0-8. This is a game for St. John that they have to win. Flat out, there is no other way around it. If they do not win this game, that first playoff game since 2018 is very much in question. They have to go out and win this game against a team in Cardinal that has been struggling. The biggest thing St. John has to do is you can't look past your Week 10 opponent and start worrying about Week 11. We've seen it happen time after time after time where people are so worried about next week that they forgot that they got to play a football game. So it's going to have to be eyes on the prize. We're worried about this week for them. So those are the games this week. And let me go back to some comments because we got a lot. Amy Coral says, "We love you, Jay," and she's very, very proud of you. We got Paul Seiler saying congratulations to Jay Anthony. Anthony Benedict saying congratulations, Jay. Aaron Seiler saying congratulations, and Heidi Nelling saying congratulations. All right, everybody. Now is my favorite, and as I've said each and every week, most controversial part of the show. It's time to go over the stats. Now, keep in mind, as I've said, I only provide the stats that are provided to me. That's how these lists are made up. Okay, so if something here doesn't match what you have or what you have at home or what you see in the locker room, it's because I don't have that information provided to me by the proper authority. Our total tackle number, our formula, is different than some other schools in the area. You get 1 point for a solo tackle. You get half of a point for an assist. You get 1 point for a TFL, 1 point for a sack. That whole thing comes together, that formula, to give you your total tackles. So with that, as I've said each and every week, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the stats. All right, everybody, we'll start this one as we always do, and that is with the pass throwers. And leading the pack here in Ashtabula County, it's J.J. Murphy. 2,301 yards passing, 26 touchdowns, 14 interceptions for the sophomore quarterback over at Lakeside. Hard to believe that this guy was a tackle last year, coming out here and really knocking on the door to immortality as he is under 200 yards away from the single-season passing record here in the county. Right behind J.J. Murphy, we go to another J.J., and that is Dufour over at Edgewood. He's got 1,789 yards. He's got 22 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions for that man. He has been incredibly effective when he's thrown the ball for this Edgewood Warriors team. Pymatuning Valley's Justin Britton, 1,615 yards passing, 24 touchdowns. He's got 7 interceptions. Behind him is the newest legend in Conneaut, Colby Stiltner, 1,539 yards, 7 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. But I can tell you this, after that game last Friday, nobody is worried about that second number. Mason Khalil over in Jefferson, he's got 805 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Nate Stewart with 558 yards, 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Grand Valley's Carter Turk with 490 yards, 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And then we move to St. John's Anthony Benedict with 51 yards, 5 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And Geneva's Caden Proy with 107 passing yards as they were airing it out in that last game. And I say that completely facetiously. They did throw some passes out there. It was very, very cool to see. He cracks that 100-yard mark here this week. And now we move on to the rushers. And leading the way, when you've got guys who can rush like Geneva, you don't have to pass the ball. And that's because guys like Bryce Pete from Geneva, 1,589 yards rushing. He's done that on 140 carries. He's got 18 touchdowns. Isaiah Bowles from Conneaut moves into second place this week. 140 carries. He's got 1,090 yards. 12 touchdowns for Bowles. Matthew Webster with 208 carries. He's got 1,079 yards, 15 touchdowns. This is incredible to me. So you've got Bryce Pete up at the top here with 18 touchdowns and almost 1,600 yards. Here's Caden Proy, 900 yards, 20 touchdowns for Geneva. And then Chase Newsom, 130 carries. He's got 899 yards, 12 touchdowns for Big Game Chase. Kason Bailey with 97 carries. He's gotten 806 yards, 7 touchdowns. Javen Pope, after a huge game against Jefferson last week, moves up to 705 yards, 8 touchdowns. J. Anthony Williams from Grand Valley, 686 yards, 8 touchdowns, just 55 carries. Ricky DePetta over in Geneva, he's got 57 carries for 537 yards, 6 touchdowns. And another Geneva running back in Owen Davis with 51 carries, 493 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And now from the runners, we go to the receivers. And leading the way this week for the receivers for the 4th week in a row, it's Pymatuning Valley's Jace Folkman. Jace Folkman has 34 receptions for 681 yards. He's got 10 touchdowns. Right behind him, Matt Wagner, who had a huge game against Conneaut, 49 catches, 670 yards. He's got 7 touchdowns. Josiah Pope, the weapon that is Josiah Pope, with 597 yards on 6 touchdowns on 40 catches. Devin Salinas comes in next for Jefferson. He's got 513 yards, 7 touchdowns. Devin Sanchez over at Edgewood with 496 yards. He's got 6 touchdowns. Jorge Diaz for the Lakeside Dragons, the sophomore sensation, 36 catches, 484 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns. Downtown Terry Brown with 28 catches, 473 yards, 6 touchdowns. We've got Sean Croston, the Pymatuning Valley Laker himself, with 467 yards and 10 touchdowns. I mean, you're talking about 1,300 yards just between Croston and Folkman alone. And then we move on to J. Anthony Williams with 347 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns. Davion Gaines over at Lakeside, he's got 31 catches, 343 yards, 4 touchdowns. And making his debut on the list this week, it's Conneaut's Alden Googe with 19 catches, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns. What an incredible game that kid had on Friday night. I mean, big play after big play after big play. Pat yourself on the back because, man, do you deserve it. All right, now to the tacklers. All right, leading the way for the county is Sean Croston from Pymatuning Valley with 86.5 tackles. He is an absolute tackle magnet for the Lakers. He is involved in almost every tackle. Ricky DePetta from Geneva right behind him with 74. Bryce Pete from Geneva with 69.5. Chetty Arcaro with 68.5, and you're going to see his name on another list coming up soon. Brody Dietrich with 66 for Jefferson. Tyree Anderson, big 6, not little, with 62.5. Mason Thor with 57 over at Edgewood. Jacob Clemens at Geneva with 50.5 tackles. Caden Proy from Geneva with 50 tackles. And Christian Brott over at Edgewood with 49.5 tackles. And now we'll talk about our TFL leaders in the county. Leading the way is Sean Croston with 15 tackles for loss on the year, and that's why he's got so much in the way of total tackles. Chetty Arcaro, who has been an unstoppable force this year for Conneaut, with 14 TFLs. Carlo Fasano, Muscles Marinera, with 12.5 tackles for loss. Mason Thor with 9 tackles for loss. Chris McKeechin over at Lakeside with 7. He is tied with Geneva's Jacob Clemens with 7. You've got Pymatuning Valley's Kason Bailey. He's got 6. Paul Seiler over at Edgewood. He's got 6. And Chase Cinco makes it 6 this week as he has 6 tackles for loss. And now our sack leaders going into week 10. And this is an incredible number. We just talked about him. Ladies and gentlemen, Muscles Marinera with 10 sacks on the year. That's 1 point something for every game he has played this year. 10 sacks on the year for that sophomore over at St. John. What a force he has been on the edge for them. Jeremiah Coral in second place. He's got 5 sacks on the year. Mason Thor from Edgewood, he's got 4. Another Mustang makes the list as Luca Raymore with 4. And Jacob Clemens over at Geneva tied with him with 4 TFLs. And we'll talk about our interception leaders. So leading the way is the guy we just got done talking to, J. Anthony Williams with 6 interceptions on the year. Anthony Severino is going to be tied with 4 other guys with 4 interceptions on the year. And those 4 guys are St. John's Anthony Severino, Gus Petros, who had 2 on Friday alone, Jace Folkman over at Pymatuning Valley with 4, the Slim Reaper Riley Baldwin with 4, and Caden Proy, the quarterback, when he's not putting the ball in the end zone himself, he's taking the ball away from the opposing offenses with 4 interceptions. And right behind him, another big part of that offense in Ricky DePetta with 3 interceptions. Geneva is truly, incredible this year, moving on all cylinders. It has been, we got another. You know what? That might not have. Oh, yes, I did. Sorry about that. Yeah, Conneaut at 4-5. going to be. I did skip over this game, so we'll go back to that real quick. Conneaut at 4-5 going to have to travel to Madison this week, and I'll be interested to actually see how this game kind of pans out. This is a game where I think Madison is going to be heavily favored because they're coming off of a huge loss to the Geneva Eagles, but I don't think anybody is walking higher than Conneaut right now. I mean, when you go on the road and you get a last-minute win the way you do, I really think anything is possible for this team. Colby Stiltner had himself a great night for the Conneaut Spartans, but you can't overlook Isaiah Bowles either. Isaiah Bowles is a 1,000-yard rusher, and he showed his talent in that game as well. They're going to have to do that. I mean, these guys are going to be tested this week because Will Randall, the quarterback over at Madison, he can throw the ball, and he can throw the ball very, very well. Berman can run the ball very, very well. Poe can run the ball very, very well. And also Madison's got a kicker with a huge leg. So, I mean, I would love to see this upset, as Benedict calls for the upset loss to Conneaut. I would love to see that upset. And I'm not going to take it off the table. I mean, Conneaut really showed me something on Friday night. They've got a grit to them. When they put their mind to it, Conneaut can play with absolutely anybody. Absolutely anybody. And it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes. That game will be on the network Friday as well. So make sure you guys tune in to YSN Live. That's where you're going to catch all the updates, all the scores. We are coming upon Week 10. There are some teams that are going to be playing their final game of the season on Week 10. And for those teams, getting ready for Week 10, to the seniors, I say this directly to you. Whether you've got a game Week 11 or not, make sure you take everything in on Friday night. At very best, you're going to get 40 football games in your high school career. Each and every one of them is going to be a piece of you from your football career. Each and every one of them is going to have a different flavor. Each and every one of them is going to have a different story. But that whole thing is going to come together for a big scrapbook in your head about what football was, and it matters a lot. It's the reason why I still love football to this day as a 39-year-old man. It is my favorite sport. It's God's gift to us in my eyes. You are going to have a chance to do one of the greatest activities in some cases for the final time this Friday. Make sure you enjoy every single minute of it. Take in the crowd, take in your teammates, but most importantly, take it in for yourself. It's a wonderful sport that you can gain so much more than just wins or losses in. Football has a way of preparing you for life. So when you go out there this Friday, take it all in, enjoy yourself, make it count, make everything you do count, because it's going to be over before you know it, and sooner than you think, you'll be missing it. It's been a great season. We will be doing our, I believe, final show next week here at the Crow's Nest. I want to thank the Detour family for hosting me each and every week, as well as the players and the teams and the families who have come out to support these players. I want to thank the Sposito family for sponsoring this and making this happen. And most of all, I want to thank you guys for paying attention and watching and sharing and liking and sometimes complaining. It's all awesome. I love talking to you guys. This is my favorite thing to do, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys and without the help of our community. So until next week, folks, my name is Sam Torres. Today and for always, this is for the 440.
This for the 440. This for the 440. For the city and the back road, got a whole county full of them goats. All from the 440 and that go. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the 440 chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they no defeating no dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really doubt it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Conneaut flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, and John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.